Hi Year 3 and 4, welcome to Story Time, Chapter 10, Rabbit Dropping Roulette. "What are you doing down here?" came an angry voice. It was George. Alongside him were Amber and Robin. Tom turned round and Amber and George immediately collapsed in hysterics. In no time, both were helpless with laughter. "What's so dreadfully amusing?" asked Robin. "Pray tell." "Yes, what is so hilarious?" demanded Tom. He had the distinct feeling they were laughing at him. "It's your pink frilly night dress," laughed Amber. "It's not mine," protested Tom. "Oh, I see," said Robin. "Well, I don't see," he added, patting the bandages over his eyes, "but you know what I mean." "Robin, if you could see him, you would have a good laugh," added George. "So, how frilly exactly are we talking here?" asked Robin. "Well," began Amber, "there are layers of frills like on a wedding cake." Robin must have created the image in his head because he giggled to himself at the thought. "Oh, dear me." "Shut up, the three of you," shouted Tom angrily. "Yes, you boys, no more giggling," said Amber, even though she was the one who'd been giggling the loudest. "Look, Tom," began George, "we asked you something. What are you doing down here?" "I was following you," replied Tom. "What are you doing down here?" "We're not saying," replied Amber. "Now go back to bed, annoying little boy." "No, I won't," replied Tom. "Go back to bed," added George. "No," replied Tom defiantly. "I won't." "I'd slap you if I could see where you are," fumed Robin. "Count yourself very lucky, ducky." "I'll snitch on you unless you let me come too," said Tom. The other three were stunned into silence. The one thing that was looked down on at Tom's boarding school was snitching. Despite the brutal atmosphere at St. Willits, snitching on other boys to the teachers was forbidden, even if they had put trifle in your shoes, flushed your homework down the toilet, buried all your pairs of underpants, crammed you into your own locker, put a huge hairy spider in the bottom of your bed, made you eat a pongy rugby sock with some cheesy foot shavings sprinkled on top, painted your nose blue in your sleep, tied your shoelaces to a tree and left you dangling upside down, put glue on your tennis racket so it stuck to your hand forever, mixed rabbit droppings in with your chocolate drops from the tuck shop, then forced you to eat them all in a sick game of rabbit dropping roulette. So Tom never liked to snitch or even threatened to snitch, but in this moment he felt he had no other options. "You better let me come too, or I'll shout and scream and wake up the whole hospital right now," said Tom. "I don't think anyone will hear you from down here," remarked Robin. He had a point. "All right then, I'll take the lift up to the ground floor and I'll shout and scream and wake up the whole hospital in just a couple of minutes." It didn't have quite the same punch, but fortunately it did the trick. The other three started talking. "You can't come because where we're going is top secret," said Amber. "Well, what's the secret?" asked Tom. "We have a secret gang," said Robin. "Whatever you do, don't tell him it's called the Midnight Gang," said George. "The Midnight Gang?" exclaimed Tom. Join us tomorrow for the next chapter. Goodbye.